Tracy.
Morning, gentlemen. James Tracy, Land Use Council for Federal Materials, Hood Canal Sand and Gravel, and Thorndike Resource. I want to begin by thanking the board for your quick response to my suggestion that there was a conflict between your fee ordinance and your current county code and delegation of authority. Appreciate that quick action very much. I have another suggestion for you this morning. I'm making it this morning because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to be at the hearing tonight. I will put this in writing for the record. One of the major issues that you're facing in your community with regard to the locally adopted master program is this concept of making uses and structures which were legally established non-conforming by virtue of the adoption of new shoreline regulations. In its wisdom, the legislature considered this year Senate Bill 5451, which when introduced would have required local master programs to contain a provision that all legally established structures were assumed to be conforming uses upon the adoption of the. In other words, it takes this whole issue of financing and improvements and modifications and remodels and all this off the table once those uses are considered conforming. As it was finally passed, substitute Senate Bill 5451, reduce that the scope of the original bill to residential uses only, and instead of making it mandatory, it made it discretionary. And this will apply to all shoreline master programs, I believe, adopted after July 21st, which yours will probably fall in that category. So I want to urge you that this is at least at minimum something you could utilize to respond to those members of the community who are concerned about the residential structures being made non-conforming by virtue of the adoption of the plan. What really should happen is that Jefferson County should adopt the original provisions of Senate Bill 5451. There's no reason why you couldn't. You don't require authorization by the legislature to do this. But you could agree that, in fact, all uses legally established before the shoreline master program is adopted be considered conforming. I don't need to spend a great deal of time telling you how many issues this would take off the table for you and your staff and your county administrator. There are still provisions in that bill, I urge you to read it, which require all conformance with all of the no net loss policy and all the normal requirements of Shoreline Management Act. So I commend that to your attention and consideration as you work through this process of finalizing your locally adopted plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tracy.